Hello again, gentlemen, and a few ladies. Hello to you all, and welcome. Maybe there's a few in-betweens out there, I don't know. So, what we have here is the Redmax G621AVS. It's a 621. It's a 61, 62cc saw right there. I got this, it's probably been 8 months, a year ago. I don't know, something like that. It's been a while. I was having a real hard time getting it running, but it didn't make any sense to me because it's clearly an extremely low use saw. This thing is very clean, very nice. And this is not the bar that came with it either. Maybe it is. Yeah, I think it is. So, but point is why did it stop running? I got it at a pawn shop. I think I paid 50 bucks for it. Would not start on me, and for the life of me, I thought it was the ignition, because it would run fine, but then whenever I put it in the wood, it would lose power. And so I thought the spark wasn't hot enough. Turns out what it was the Welch plug that was leaking around the Welch plug. And whatever problem that causes, it caused it. And so it would lose all of its power in the wood. Now, what I did to fix it, I just JB welded over top of the Welch plug, and that fixed it. But I quickly jumped onto a different project, and I didn't really have time to do a good video showcasing how this thing cuts. How well or how bad, however you want to say it. There we go, stop, that's on. It has not been started for at least 2 months. I did start it a while back just to start it. And so we might have to do a little bit of tuning, and we'll see if it starts right now. The answer is yes. Yes, it will start right now. Just a little bit above 12,000 there. Not too shabby. big oak. No, 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 not that oak. The big oak. But that's not what you think. It is time to cut this up and say goodbye. That right there, that piece, that last piece I just cut, that's hard as an 18-year-old pecker on prom night. That's, in the big cuts that I was doing with this, and I kept saying how, no, you can't count this, you can't count this. This wood is different, this wood is changing. This was the primary reason. This spot right here, that's a great big knot. See? Doing all kinds of stuff. You got all kinds of cross grains and stuff. That junk right there is hard. Ugh, very hard. My Australian friends down under know about hardwood, don't you? Anyways, so the chain that's on it is a brand new, I mean, it's had a few cuts on it, but it was brand new whenever I put it on this saw. So it is an Oregon EXL. So full chisel, full comp, Oregon EXL. Cuts good, but it's not the fastest chain in the world out of the box. You've got the rakers are pretty high. So this is one of those chains that really benefit from, as soon as you put it on, giving it a few swipes. But it's a good chain, it's a very good chain, and it's very affordable considering. Yeah, you know, the Husqvarna and the steel chains are just ridiculous. It's an 18-inch bar, and this is the first time that I've actually used this saw. Like I said, I've cut cookies in a few videos, but that's totally different. That just doesn't count for working a saw. You can't tell what the saw is like whenever you're just cutting some cookies. I don't care what the wood is either. I mean, yeah, I'm cutting hard wood, but it's different whenever you do this. You go against or go with the grain, and you find yourself in a bind and you're wanting to get out of it. You pull really hard just to get through it and stuff like that. And whenever you're actually working a saw is whenever you find out what it's made of. And before this whole session right here today, and it could be that, you know, I just got it tuned in right. I think that was the first time I put a tack on it. In that poplar, it was cutting through that at 10,200 RPMs, which is pretty good. It's not bad, you know. This is an open port saw, and even though it's got pro build quality to it, you know, it's magnesium cases. It's got a workable cylinder, you know, meaning it's not clamshell. You know, you can actually cut the base on this, and it's easier to deal with. It's a pro build quality, but it is also an open port setup, and there's nothing fast about it, not really, you know. So I would, direct comparison would be to a Husqvarna 61, Janssen Red 625 like I just had on the channel. The Timberwolf, you know. At this point, it would be lovely actually to put this up against an Echo 590 Timberwolf, a completely stock one. It feels very similar. I mean, it's hard. It's been so long since I ran a stock Timberwolf, and heck, even then, if you're not running them back to back, right there, one after the other, can you really tell? I don't know. What I can tell you is I was impressed with it. It pulled really good. It cut through that oak really nice. And I like it. I like it. So this morning, whenever I first got up and went down to the garage, I was trying to figure out what I was going to work on. And, you know, I got other stuff, but I'm waiting on parts and things. And so I had a chance to work on one of my saws. And so, well, what I chose to do was work on that 2100. You may have seen that video. I released it this morning. But if I hadn't chosen to work on that 2100, I was going to grab this and port it. Things went the way that it went, and I grabbed that 3100 or the 2100 and worked on it instead. This one right here, Dub, TW, Dub's Saw Shop. Dub's Saw Shop. That's his channel. He has the John Cutter. What is it? I think it's the 7500. It's a 75cc John Cutter that actually has been cloned off of this saw. So I know I told you this is a Redmax, but it's actually a Zenoah. I have seen the tag on it. I think it's up under here. But regardless, this is a Zenoah chainsaw. The Zenoah version is, I think, just the G621, something like that. But anyways, this is Redmax, same thing, right? As little kids would say, same difference, you know. But I've never seen the 75cc version of the Zenoah saw. All I've seen is the Zenoah 6200 or this Redmax 621. That's all I've ever seen. And so I'm wondering what the heck happened with the Chinese clone stuff, how they got it to 75 cc's. Did they design their very own cylinder and crank and wrist, rod, all of that stuff to bump it up to the 75 cc's? Because those chainsaws, those John Cutter 75cc saws, they are actually, it's been confirmed that they're 75 cc's. And so for a 60cc saw, this is a little bit big. It's a little bit heavy and bulky, you know, but not bad. But for a 75cc saw, it is tiny. And so my wheels are really spinning with that. I'm not gonna do anything like put the crank and piston and cylinder off of that 75cc saw. You can't even find them. I've looked, I can't find them. So, it's kind of pointless. But Dub, he ported the one that he has, and you know, he's like, wow, that thing's awesome, blah, 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 right? And I believe him too, because even if it doesn't produce the power of like a 372 or the 03, the 380 steel clones and all those, even if it doesn't produce that power, it's small, you know? This is spot on size-wise. This is like spot on the same size as a 266, 268, 272, and 61. It is that size. And so if you had that size of saw, but it was actually 75 cc's, whoo, brother, that would be one great saw. So I am very interested in getting one of those clones, but I have no place for it in my life. So I can't get it and then use it for the 74cc class. There's no clone war for it, you know, so racing it and doing it, you know, I use that a lot of times as an excuse to buy a saw. So there's no point in it for me. So I'll just be happy and content with this one right here. It is running good, and the way I figure it, because it is very clearly, very, very clearly a very low hour saw. Side cover right here is in really nice shape. It's good. Job that he had to do, or she, and you know, just let it sit. And they probably put ethanol gas in it, and whenever that ethanol gas, Welch plugs, there is a little bit of sealant there. It's kind of like clear polish. What Saw that problem. I was the one that ended up getting it at a pawn shop for 50. Oh, very happy about that. Finding out what it was a little difficult. I like it a lot.